Hi everyone, so for today's creative quarantine prompt, we are going to be painting with negative space. So this is a sample that I made a few days ago, and what it means to paint with negative space is basically we are going to be painting around the outline everything but our subject. And today my model will be this lovely plant. You may have noticed that I've been using a lot of plants recently in the creative prompts. That's partially because I happen to have a lot of them around the studio, but also I'm kind of missing going for walks outside, so it's kind of my way of bringing nature indoors. But just because I'm using a plant doesn't mean that you have to. Feel free to use an animal, any other objects, fruit, or shapes that you have around the house or that inspire you or find to use as a subject. So I'm going to start off by grounding my subject, so drawing what it's placed on, here the table. I think forgetting this step is kind of an easy oversight to make when you first start out drawing. But it really makes a huge difference for your subject to be grounded on something. So here I've drawn the table, and instead of drawing the pot on the line here, I'm going to be drawing it a little bit forward to give some perspective. So here, firmly on the table. And then just continue on drawing the rest of your plant. No need to be too precise. I'm just going for an outline, a simple silhouette, and we're going to be filling it in with either watered down acrylics or watercolor. So make sure that you use a paper that's a little bit thick so that it has high water absorbency, a bit thicker than printer paper. So here I'm just blotching in a few different shades of green. No need to be precise. I'm just roughly filling in the silhouette shape that I made previously with some dark colors at the bottom, lighter colors at the top, so we get kind of a shadow effect. And then I'm going to add a few splashes of bright primary colors just to make it kind of messy and fun. For the pot, I'm using a terracotta color and a little bit of purple on the side to create a shadow effect. And for the splash, just make sure that you get a lot of water mixed in with your paint like that. Soak your brush in it, and then just kind of tap the top of your paintbrush like this, and you'll get a nice splatter effect. Now, once your painting is dry, you can go ahead and outline the pencil here. I'm doing it mostly so that you can clearly see the outline, so you could skip this step if you want to go a little bit faster. And then I'm filling it in with acrylic paint. Now, I'm using acrylic because I want something that's nice and opaque to cover all of the stains that I don't want to see that are outside of the silhouette line. Tracing over your lines with a thin marker like I did here makes it a little bit easier to be precise if you have a lot of nooks and crannies in your drawings. If not, you can go ahead and just start outlining directly with your paintbrush. And you can get your layers on a little bit thick. Again, we don't want to see the splatters showing through the black paint. You could also use a dark navy blue or any other color that's kind of dark enough to hide the underlayer. And I'm just doing a simple rounded square shape around the edge, and I've left my table blank. And that's because I'm going to be filling it in with another texture. I thought we could do a little collage, so I'm just flipping through a magazine. I think these colors here match nicely with a wooden table effect. There we go. And then I'm just going to place it over my painting and mark out the edges of the sheet, and then draw out the shape of my pot that would be underneath here. And then by placing this magazine sheet under my painting, I can draw the rest of the edges out, and then all I have to do is trace out the shape with a ruler and then cut it out so that I have the perfect shape to overlap the empty table space on my painting here. Just check to make sure that it matches, that everything's aligned, and then I can cut out the pot area. There we go, perfect. Now all that's left to do is put a little bit of glue on the back and smooth it out. And there we go. And you can use this technique for all sorts of drawings. I'd love to see what you come up with. So please post them on your stories on Instagram and tag me so that I can have a little look.